everyone, welcome back to Tali's Kitchen, and today we're going to be learning how to make creamy pasta and chicken. Now the creamy pasta is really nice and full of flavor, and the chicken is also super crunchy on the outside, nice and fully cooked on the inside. And this is one really simple meal to put together as well, and it was absolutely delicious. I really loved this one. So without any further ado guys, let's learn how to get this simple easy recipe done. So on my chopping board here, I'm going to be starting with about 250 grams of chicken breast, and you can see I'm using my knife to hold it down so that I can cut laterally across it, because I'm looking to get some thin flat sheets out of this piece of chicken. So do take your time here and use a really sharp knife to get those sheets of chicken from the chicken breast. So once you've gotten that, we're going to get ready to prepare the rest of this chicken. So this looks good, and I'm going to go ahead and just pat this down to dry out any excess water using my paper towel. And then next up, I'm going to be covering this with some cling film, and then I'm going to be using my rolling pin here to just gently hit this chicken so that it can flatten out even further. So do take your time here until you get some really nice medium thin, I don't know if that's the thing, but medium thin sheets. Then we're going to jump on to seasoning, and I'm seasoning here with 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of salt and black pepper combined. So go ahead and wrap that onto your chicken. And then next up here, I'm going to be adding about 1 teaspoon of ginger garlic paste as well. And then I'm just going to rub this on the chicken as well so that all the spices are nicely infused and mixed together. So you can go ahead and let this rest for a few minutes so that the marinade that we've added, the few spices that we've added here, can infuse into the chicken. However, this is equally okay to prepare as to move on with the next processes as is, because since they're really thin sheets of chicken, the flavor is very put together. It doesn't get lost that easily. So up next, I'm going to add some all-purpose flour onto my plate, and I'm going to be seasoning this with a little bit of salt, and then I'll just use my hand to mix everything to combine. So I'm going to set that aside, and I've already beaten here 1 egg, and then lastly I'm going to be adding some breadcrumbs onto my plate in preparation for my chicken. I'm also going to be flavoring my breadcrumbs with a little bit of salt and some coriander leaves, and then I'll just be using my hand to mix everything to combine. So now that I have my 3 ingredients ready, I'm going to pick my piece of chicken and I'm going to nicely coat it in the egg, and then I'm going to go ahead and coat it with some flour. Now do take your time here, but remember we only have 2 pieces of chicken, so this does not take a lot of time. So this will go back into the egg, and then it's going to go back into the flour again. So once it's nicely coated with that flour, we're going to pop this again back into our eggs. So I really want to get a nice crunch out of my chicken, that's why I'm double coating this, but you can coat it once if you prefer it that way. So once it's now out of the eggs, I'm going to go ahead and now cover this with breadcrumbs. Do go ahead and repeat the same process for the other piece of chicken, and then in your pan, go ahead and add a little bit of cooking oil, and then once it's nice and hot, go ahead and add in your pieces of chicken. So we're going to be cooking this over medium heat, and we're going to let this cook until we can see the bottom has kind of formed a solid structure, and then we'll flip this on the other side. However, in the meantime, I have my pan over medium heat as well, and I'm boiling some water here for my pasta. So I'm just going to go ahead and add in some salt to taste. So this looks good. The bottom has formed kind of that layer, so go ahead and just gently flip this on the other side. If you cannot pick your chicken up as easily as that, then it means you have to leave it on there for a little bit more time. But this looks perfectly good, so we're going to let it cook on the other side as well. You can hear how crunchy the covers are. It's fantastic. So once they're nice and ready, go ahead and drain this out from the oil, and we're going to put this on a paper towel to drain out any excess oil. So in the same pan, go ahead and add 1 chopped onion, and we're going to cook this until they're translucent. We don't want to cook this until golden brown, but today we're just going to make this translucent. Next up, I'll be adding here 1 teaspoon of ginger garlic paste, and then I'm also going to just go ahead with my wooden spoon and mix everything to combine. Now my water is almost coming to a boil, and I'm just going to go ahead and add in my spaghetti, and I'm going to leave them at that, and once the bottom gets soft, we'll add the part that's outside the pot. Next up here, I'm going to be chopping down my mushrooms, and I did about 5 to 6 mushrooms here. So just slice them into those beautiful thin slices, and then these are going to go into the pot with our onions. So next up, just use your wooden spoon to mix everything to combine, and then now we're going to start adding in our seasoning. So first up here today, I'm going to be using 1 teaspoon of dried parsley, and then next up I'm going to be doing 1 teaspoon of chili flakes. If there's any other spice you'd want to add, feel free to add it. I wanted to keep this as minimalistic as possible, so if you want to add any more spices, go ahead and add them at this stage. So once everything is nicely mixed to combine, we're going to go ahead and add 1 cup of cooking cream, and then we're going to let this gently come to a boil. Do add some salt to taste. I didn't manage to capture that, but ensure you add in some salt to taste to your sauce. So once everything is nicely boiling like so, it means we're almost ready to add in our pasta. So go ahead and drain your pasta from the water. It just takes about 10 minutes to cook. So once you've drained out all the water, go ahead and add your pasta into your pan, and then just use your spoon to mix everything to combine. And this is already coming together really nicely, and it smells absolutely incredible. Would you look at that? Creamy pasta is honestly one of the best things you can always have. So I'm going to let this cook for just about 3 minutes, so that actually not 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 to 1 minute, so that everything is nicely cooked and combined, and then we'll add in our chicken. So as that is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and slice down my chicken pieces into nice thin strips, specifically for presentation. You can cut this into cubes if you want, but this just looks way nicer. And you can see these are fully cooked on the inside, and they're ready to just be combined with our pasta. So I'm going to do my last mix for my pasta just to make sure everything is okay, and then go ahead and gently place your chicken slices on top of your pasta. Now you want to go ahead and garnish this with a little bit of chopped coriander leaves, just for presentation, and then you're ready to serve. And look at how incredible this looks, and it tasted absolutely fantastic. This is a really easy meal to put together, and it is super delicious. Trust you me, it is worth your time. So I really hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you'll try it out. Do let me know how it goes in the comment sections below. Consider subscribing, sharing, and liking the video, and I will see you all next time with yet another fantastic recipe. For now, bye bye and stay safe.